Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 87 of Active Reload.
87?
87, the Nintendo Switch 2. It got revealed to mixed reviews, I think, to be light, I think.
I'm hyped.
He's in the minority. I'm wearing black because it's their funeral.
No way.
I'm just kidding. No. We'll talk about that. That's going to be our main story of the day. We might touch on some other stuff here and there, but Switch 2, that's going to be the big stuff. He's going to play devil's advocate. It'll be very fun. Lots of yelling, and I might get red. No one will care, though. Let's get into it.
Boom. Oh, yeah?
Okay, so the Nintendo Switch 2. It's here. Not a lot of like visual differences from the first one in terms of like
No.
the look and everything like that.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. Start with the look.
They kept it very similar to the Switch 1. They knew what they had. Fair enough.
Screen size, same, bigger.
I
think it's bigger.
I think it's a little bit bigger.
A little
I think
bit
it's a
bigger.
little bit bigger than the Switch 1 was.
LCD, not OLED.
People are upset about that,
But if you want to keep price down,
yeah, it will be more expensive with the LCD if they...
I mean OLED.
Yeah, sorry, with the OLED. Yeah, that would be a lot more expensive if they decided to do that. But hey, in my opinion, if you're going to go all the way, go all the way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm going to assume everybody watching knows the price by now.
$450 is the base.
And if you want a game with that at a discount game, $500.
Nice 500 buckaroonies.
That's to me not surprising at all. Actually, I think 500 is on the cusp of being too much, but 450. So man, that's right where I expected it. And to me, it's right in line with, the Steam Deck, the Lenovo, the Asus handheld, all these handhelds and new consoles that are around $400 to $500. This isn't a mid-gen upgrade. This is a new console. So it's more powerful than the Steam Deck. Apparently, the specs are a little iffy other than people's hands-on. I've watched comparison videos on 2077, Cyberpunk 2077, and Split Fiction. And you know what? It is comparable to both those.
Right.
It runs. It's not like it's...
Yeah. That's my thing.
Witcher.
Yeah. I'm not going to play Cyberpunk on a Switch 2.
No, but Nintendo fans would love to do it.
But if you want to play it on a more powerful console, Cyberpunk and Witcher, well, no, not Split Fiction. That's an Xbox exclusive. You can get the PS5 digital edition for $50 less than what this initial price is.
Split Fiction is not an Xbox exclusive.
Oh, it's not? I thought it was.
It's just Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. So you can get Split Fiction and you can get Cyberpunk 2077 on a more powerful console that will play it and run it better than the Switch 2 for $50 less.
But handheld.
I don't know how much of a sell that is.
I think here, off the top, I guess I should start. It's going to be really hard. We're going to be bouncing everywhere. I said in a previous episodes are going to pop up certain times.
Yeah.
I said the only way...
Indeed they will.
The only way that Nintendo was going to get me in is if it has to launch, or at least a launch window, of a Metroid game. That's what they're doing. It has to cater to the core audience like me, which is a new FromSoft game. That's for me.
Okay, wait. It's a FromSoft game that's a multiplayer PvP game.
Yeah.
That's never been FromSoft's thing.
Well, their new game is also that.
In Elden Ring, though.
Night Rain.
Right. And that's just basically...
it's Bloodborne Night Rain.
It's an extension of Elden Ring. It's an expansion.
I get it. But it's a FromSoft game. FromSoft games are hardcore, regardless if it's...
Right. Also, though, I've never played a Nintendo or a multiplayer game on Nintendo, and I was like, they've really got this down. Like, never.
Well, I mean, it's a new console, so hopefully... I'm going to assume that they're going to get the online down. Hopefully. I mean...
yeah, I said that after the Wii, too.
Either way, it is catering to at least a little bit, edging towards me. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth was when I said I wanted to get one. I'm definitely hyped to get one. I was planning on getting one, but after seeing that, it makes me really want to get one. But the price of the games are very high. $80
for Mario
a digital
Kart. Yeah,
and I mean that's too high for me.
that's a lot.
I buy games on sale, really, and Game Pass games, and I buy maybe 3 or 4 new games a year, and I play a lot of video games. And I will acknowledge that games are more accessible than ever nowadays.
Yeah.
Which I mean, Mario Kart. Can I see this? I wrote these stuff down. Me playing devil's advocate with myself, I guess. 1992 Mario Kart was $125 adjusted to 2025. It came out at what, $60, I think. Mm-hmm. And then 97 with Mario Kart 64, $119. Mario Kart the handheld Game Boy Advance was $63. This is all adjusted for 2025, by the way. Then went 87, 65, 74, 71, 81, 78, now 80. They're around the same line. It's just games are more accessible, so we expect them to be less.
The other thing is, though,
expensive. But this is Nintendo. Their games have always been expensive.
But in that time, the $125 one, what year was that?
92.
92, they were the premier game developer.
Oh, you don't think they are now?
Not when it comes to really taking leaps forward in video games.
Yeah.
In video games themselves. In tech, you could make that argument for sure. In terms of accessible tech.
I think Nintendo is up there, top 5.
I'd agree with that.
Developers in the world. I think they make impeccable games.
Right. I don't disagree with that.
Maybe however, not aimed at me.
Right. Cyberpunk 2077, at least now, for sure, not necessarily when it first came out, is one of the most graphically insane games that I've ever seen. Beautiful games. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, another example.
Good. Is that coming to Switch?
Sold for $60. I doubt it.
I think it is.
Sold for $60, and it Switch took 2. Like big leaps forward in terms of graphical capability, not being overabundant in terms of like forcing your hardware to do things too heavily.
Yeah,
it's a 60 it's still is it 60
it's
frames 60 frame game out of the box.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate is another example. Took leaps in big terms of how it plays and whatnot.
You can say
that I don't see that in Nintendo. The only one that I can see that is Breath of the Wild. That's the one. But there's not a Zelda game coming out for this launch.
The next one will be pretty dang good.
Sure, absolutely.
You can almost go to the bank that Nintendo produced and developed games are going to be good.
Yeah, of course.
It's very rare that they suck.
Yeah, they don't make poorly made games very often, if ever.
I could think
there's a couple, but it's rare.
Mario Sunshine.
Oh, I hate that game. Wow, I hate that game. That's stupid.
I don't like that game either.
Stupid nozzle thing.
People love that game. Just like Wind Waker. When Wind Waker came out on the GameCube, I was like, nope, not for me.
Yeah.
Because I was playing Halo and stuff. And then boom, now everybody loves it.
I mean, Nintendo has an irreplaceable fondness for everybody, just like a spot in their hearts. But like I was saying, $125 for 92, like that is when it was adjusted for inflation is how much it would have cost. There wasn't a insane amount of competition that they were having to fight with in terms of the top of the heap.
I was there, and
what else was out there?
What like
92? We had this. There was a Sega console. Don't remember the name of it because it's Sega.
The Genesis.
The Genesis. They were putting Sonic games out there.
Yeah. They were around the same price because they were console based.
But nobody had
cartridge based. Sorry,
nobody had, and that's the other part too. Is cartridges were
the video games didn't go down until actually. I'm sorry, video games didn't really level off.
Yeah.
Until PlayStation came out. So like in '97, I mean, I bought NBA Live 1995. I bought it with my own money on my birthday. It was $70 on a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
Or 60 or 70. One of those. 70, I think. It was very expensive. It hurt. It hurt big time for my mom or my dad to buy a video game for us. It definitely hurt.
Yeah.
That's why rentals were really big back then. But there was definitely more. There was a lot of competition. I mean, it's just, we couldn't buy it. No one could buy multiple games. Like on my library right now, if I don't include Game Pass,
Yeah.
which is stupid, you should if you pay for it. I have, I don't know, 1,000 games on my Xbox.
Not on your Xbox. Under your profile.
Under my profile,
yeah. Okay.
I probably have like 200 on my Xbox right now. 200
I'm about
games?
close, yeah. The other thing is though too, back then in 92 and after that 97,
Yeah,
they were still doing cartridges, and those are more expensive to make than printing it on a CD.
Sure, but GameCube had CD. It was $87.
That's way cheap. That's $40 difference. That's way cheaper.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were talking about compared to nowadays.
No. That's why I think 125. That you're putting in cartridge price, and now they don't even have CDs
like a
anymore.
battery inside
They're
the
like
cartridge.
that big, and if you put it in your mouth, it tastes like batteries or pennies. Right?
What
The
does?
Switch. Remember, that's the thing they coat it. They coat it in and it tastes like pennies or whatever.
I don't know what you're talking
Okay,
about.
yeah. If you put the little cartridges in your mouth, it's because it's supposed to be childproof. So if you put if they put it in your mouth, they're like, ugh, because it tastes like pennies.
It's bitter. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, that's how big they're making their cartridges this big, and apparently this was according to some. They said $90 for the physical copies
Yeah,
too.
and some of them.
You're not even getting a physical copy for $80. It's the
It's a key.
digital version.
Yeah. No, they didn't say that those would be $90. They just said you're going to see physical copies have like a red stripe if it's a digital key, basically.
Oh, okay.
And other ones that aren't. And the other ones that aren't, I'm assuming they haven't said it specifically. I'm assuming those are the $90 ones. I would say more egregious would be the upgrades of your Switch games.
That one's really
This is not
crazy.
surprising. If you've been watching Nintendo for a long time, for as long as me, I'm old. They always suck when it comes to backwards compatibility, and it's still the same.
It's crazy that this is the next iteration of the console, though, that they just released. Not just released. What? How long has it been? 8 years, probably 7, 8 years now.
Since the Switch?
Yeah, because it came out pre-pandemic.
Yeah, it came out
2017, I think.
Came out before the PS4, right? No, after.
No, after.
Yeah.
Because that was the big conversation everybody was having.
I don't know.
I think it was 2017, I want to say.
Yeah. 2016, I bet.
2016, 2017. But the fact that a lot of the games that you have on your Switch won't be compatible to the new Switch is mind-boggling to me. Especially since if they're cartridges or not, the fact that if it's a digital game, it won't work.
No kidding.
On
Here,
in
for
a digital
example,
age.
If I play right now, go to my house and I play Elden Ring on my PC, right? It'll look the way it looks on my PC.
Right.
I go get a new PC for $2,000. It's going to look a million times better. They're both digital games.
Yeah.
Why can't Nintendo do that?
Yeah, why is that so hard to figure out?
Sony can't do it either.
Yeah, Sony.
Xbox can do
What's
it.
going on in Japan? Dude?
And Xbox can actually make it better.
Yeah, for free with an FPS boost.
Not all
It's
games.
backwards compatible. Yeah,
But they don't offer a $10. Well, this is going to be a $20 upgrade.
to make it Nintendo Switch 2 upgraded, I guess, upresed,
Whatever that means. Either way, Sony released their PS5 Pro for $700 last year, and that upgrade is absolutely not worth it at all.
No, of course, it absolutely is not worth it. And I think a couple things that I've read that they have not exactly succeeded well in that upgrade, that PlayStation upgrade.
I don't think
it's done very
anybody.
well.
I don't think anybody on Earth is exceeding when it comes to console sales and profit from console sales, hardware sales.
Oh, I think PlayStation is, apart from the Pro and Nintendo. Not the 2, but the first Switch for sure. That's the best-selling console.
No, it is okay.
in the world right now, other than the PlayStation 4.
But the PlayStation 5 is not selling like the PS2 is selling.
Well, it's not selling like the PS4 is selling either.
Okay.
Because it's more expensive too. That's part of it. Came out in 2017, by the way. The
Jesus,
Switch.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because it came out when
It was March 3rd, 2017.
I remember when there were launch titles, and then I was playing them on my Xbox, and I was like, "Why would I buy it on Nintendo?"
Right.
I can't remember which games.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. And but that's why you're not having the same reaction to this?
No, because I want a handheld machine.
Yeah. I don't disagree that there's like
If Microsoft was to release their handheld, I'd buy the Microsoft
yes,
one
that
over any day.
100%. I agree with you there.
But I really want to play Nintendo products finally. It's been way too long, and I want a powerful handheld. Apparently, this one's a powerful handheld,
Yeah.
although the specs.
We don't have the specs.
Damn it, specs.
Yeah.
I knew it. I made that prediction. I said, by the time you hear this, the Nintendo is going to be coming out, and I guarantee you're not going to know anything about the specs. You don't. All they say is NVIDIA, a custom NVIDIA chip. Well,
They don't
what is
expound
that?
upon that though.
From the people who have hands on, they say it seems to be more powerful than a Steam Deck. It better be.
But see, that's the thing though that also confuses me is I don't know what they're comparing there. So if you're using a Steam Deck and you're comparing things,
Yeah.
are they playing the Cyberpunk 2077?
I mean, that'd be a perfect
Steam Deck
comparison.
or-
Yeah, I'm guessing the people who got their hands on Cyberpunk 2077
yeah.
were probably like, this is comparable to me playing the Steam Deck version of it, maybe even better.
But for
that's
me-
what I've heard.
But the thing is though, usually on at those experiences, right, where they have the people play those games
Yeah.
on this whatever.
It's a slice of pie.
Right, it's a slice, or they're using their own like Nintendo's using Nintendo games to show off the product. So they're playing the new Donkey Kong game, they're playing the new Mario Kart game. So
Yeah.
if you're comparing that to Cyberpunk, of course it's going to run better.
Well,
it's Donkey Kong.
Also, I think the Nintendo games that were shown, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart, all that stuff, I think they're going to be available for Switch as well. They're Switch One, right? I don't think they're exclusive. They sure as hell don't look like it. They look like they could run it on Switch just fine, and just at a lower resolution.
I'm going to look it up because I'm not. I thought it was.
Nintendo has always done that. Breath of the Wild came out for the
on
Wii U.
Yeah.
Skyward Sword came out for GameCube and the Wii, or Twilight Princess. Sorry.
Okay.
So they do that every single time. So I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, Mario Kart came out for Wii U and the Switch.
So they can make it open world, but just for the new games. Or it's open world.
No
They can
way.
make it backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Just for the new games.
What do you mean?
They can't make Zelda Breath of the Wild, they can't make backwards compatible to go forward,
Yeah.
but this one they can make go backwards in like Mario Kart World and make
Yeah,
it
yeah.
Switch compatible.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that makes sense. That's confusing to me. I wouldn't be able to play
Because one was designed for a infrastructure that didn't exist, or one's designed for an infrastructure that is old, and how are you going to design it for a new one that hasn't come out yet? Layperson coming up with that. I don't know. I assume that video game makers like Nintendo could figure that out.
I can't, but the thing is, like, for example, I can't play Halo Infinite on my 360.
No.
But this is a console upgrade. I couldn't play Halo I can't play Master Chief Collection on my 360.
No, because it came out on the Xbox One.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's my point. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's weird that they're like, yeah, we can actually make it go backwards.
Well, because they designed it that way.
I don't know, man. Whole thing is, I'm looking
I've played,
at the page
here's
for
a
it.
better example.
Yeah, go ahead.
Splinter Cell Double Agent came out for 360 and Xbox.
Yeah, true.
And
That's a good point.
way better on the original Xbox. Even though the 360 version had a bit higher resolution, it was just not as crisp and wider screen.
The bigger, I'm not seeing anything, by the way, about it like Mario Kart World being available for the Switch 1.
Okay. I don't. Maybe they haven't talked about that.
Maybe they haven't.
There's a lot of noise around Nintendo, and that's why it's important that we talk about it, I guess.
Yeah.
But holy geez, man, there's so much noise. It's hard to find the signal.
Yeah, I'm seeing here that it's a Switch 2 only for Mario Kart World, and that would
Okay, and they switched to exclusive.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like. Anyways,
Okay.
the bigger issue,
gotcha.
The bigger issue I have for me with this release or with this announcement and the entire direct in general, the vibe of the actual show and the overarching theme that I got out of it was that they were trying to sell you accessories for this product
Oh, it was.
that had been sold and discovered by other companies successfully about 10 to 15 years prior. They had the camera, the wired camera that you can plug into the dock of your Switch 2. And for some reason, they're like, hey, Ever heard of Discord? We haven't. We're going to make Game Chat. So that's what it's called. And you can buy this wireless camera, or wired camera, excuse me. It's not wireless. Wired camera that costs $50. And it shoots at, it looks like at about 480p.
There's no way.
480p?
There's no way it's 480p.
That's the joke. I don't know if that's true or not.
Okay.
But my point is,
no way.
You can buy HD cameras that will plug into the back of just about anything.
I bought one the other day.
Almost nothing.
I bought one the other day. It was on sale, but it was $30. I bought it for $10, and it was 1440p. And guess what? It looked like absolute trash.
Yeah, I believe
the
that.
worst trash I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah,
I'm returning it today.
This part, the actual camera part of the Nintendo Switch stuff, it felt like the Kinect when I saw it for the first time.
Well, I mean, at least there's no proprietary.
Yeah,
like memory cards or something.
True.
Like Sony.
They showed off a headset, a Nintendo Switch 2 headset that they were put together, and they included it.
I mean, Nintendo hardware is goofy as all hell.
It's always been goofy.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be goofy in a almost an endearing way.
Like the GameCube.
Labo for me, I think, was that.
Labo?
Yeah. You don't remember Labo?
No.
Is that cardboard? Remember they sold cardboard? It was for the Switch, and it was basically essentially cardboard that you build, and then you could be a robot punching things, and you could make a piano out of the cardboard pieces they give you.
No, okay.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember that, but it's not surprising. That sounds terrible.
Awesome, but in like an endearing way. I'm like, man, Nintendo's really working with like sticks and stones over there.
I remember the GameCube when it had a handle on the back of it.
Yeah, see,
so you can carry it. I'm like, what?
That's great.
That was terrible.
Well,
super goofy.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense. But it was for mobile gaming.
Dude, I remember the Power Glove, dude. When Neighborhood got a Power Glove, everybody in the neighborhood joined and tried to watch it. And then quickly realized how terrible it was.
They also have
very quickly.
I want to look at this headset to see if they actually had. They don't have any actual specs on it, what it shoots or anything.
Okay.
But it looks like a camera you would have got about 10 to 15 years ago. It also makes me a little nervous that they don't have what it shoots in on here at all, which is funny. I'm on the official
You're never
Nintendo
going to
site.
see any specs ever.
It's shooting
I don't know why.
from the USB-C port.
There's a USB-C port?
Yeah. From the Switch or the back to the to your whatever, to your face. It's $50. That blew me away. I was blown away by that. I was like, man, they're really just selling the Nintendo name at this point. I cannot believe it. The headset, which I thought was also funny, they included it and they were like, it's 3D sound. And I was like, oh, they figured out stereo. Good. Yeah. Stereo quality sound.
They have three, like every console has that. Xbox and Sony has like their known 3D binaural, whatever.
3D audio.
Have you ever tested that on your PlayStation?
No.
It's awesome. Go take, as long as you have compatible headphones.
Yeah.
Go test that 3D audio. It's awesome. And then try to find a game where it's that awesome.
Right, exactly. Yeah. In the test, it's great.
Yeah.
But,
I'm like, whoa, this is the future. This is so amazing. I can hear everything. And then you play like Call of Duty and you're like, is that up, down, or left or right? I cannot tell. Is it even close?
The headset was, that was one of them. And then also the Joy-Con prices were insane. A set of two were $90. $90 for a set of two Joy-Cons. Yeah. And these things will break because you'll throw it around on accident. It'll fall. You're going to get stick drift because they're making it with the same stuff that they made the Joy-Con ones with. And then you have to spend $90, $45 a piece for the Joy-Cons.
That's crazy. Well, in history, it always has shown that the console joysticks or game pads are usually the price of a new game.
Right.
Like a PS4 or PS5 controller, $70.
If you look at it right now, it's more expensive. The two Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
The two Joy-Cons for the Nintendo Switch 2 are more expensive than the Pro Controller.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Like the Pro Controller that comes out for Switch 2?
For Switch 2. It's $10. They're $10 more than the Pro 2 than the Pro Controller.
I think maybe they anticipate more than just one break-in at a time.
Well, exactly. That's or they're like, we know more people are going to buy these.
I don't
know. Some of the it's just kind of egregious for me. the accessory prices on these because I know it's like I don't remember how expensive Wii remotes were. They feel like they were less expensive.
They're
than
like
this, though.
$45, $50.
Yeah.
$50.
But still, man, like
I have a couple. I have 3 actually.
I just don't get it. And you didn't.
And then you had to buy the rubber part. You had to buy the nunchuck.
Yeah.
The you could steering wheel, golf club. I mean, Nintendo and their peripherals and their accessories go.
It's kind of a joke.
They go wild.
Some of them are funny in a good way, like
the balance board.
I had one of those too.
I still have one.
Yeah,
Worth a lot.
You could
actually.
play. Wasn't it
actually really good?
Wasn't SSX on the Wii, and you could use the balance board?
Well, no, there was Nintendo or not Nintendo. There's Tony Hawk Project 8, I think, not Project 8, maybe it was something else, where it had a Wii board, its own.
I played
it was the Guitar Hero craze where everybody was trying to sell. Like,
the
thing that went with the game.
What are those called?
Peripherals.
Yeah, those were huge.
Yeah, this guy worked at GameStop.
I know
when that happened.
Yeah,
I bet you had tons.
No, dude, you want to know what the worst was?
What?
I hate this company forever for these.
What?
The Skylanders.
Oh, Skylanders. That's Activision, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, they're gone now. Thank God.
Yeah.
You guys were bastards for that because we had to go through each one of those toys that people would come in and figure out which one it was, how much it was priced, and then you're putting them all in individual like plastic bags and reselling them. It was so bad. It was the worst. But yeah, the residual stuff. They also had the tutorial game that is also being sold separately it's a manual for the Switch 2. It's being sold separately. It feels like a game they could have just thrown in
for $10?
For $10. But still, add it to the list of things. You're spending $500 already.
If you spend $10 on this, like how to use this gamepad, how to use this console for $10,
right? You're the problem.
I mean, you deserve to lose $10, I guess.
Right, but you know who else just came out with?
But I don't know. This game, it might be like a fun game because
right.
Might be fun.
I'm okay.
Like Astrobot.
But exactly. If you're going to compare it, that game came for free with your PlayStation. PlayStation 4.
You still had, I don't
It was a tie-in game.
I don't own it. I can't play it right now. And I got my PS4 at launch.
You got your PS4 at launch and it wasn't in there? Was it Astrobot or was it something else?
Well, there's Astrobot's Playroom. That's what it was called.
That's what it was. Astrobot's Playroom.
Where you basically take a tour of the PlayStation 4 or 5.
I thought it was... Oh, no, it might have been the 5.
Yeah, it's 5.
I think it is the 5.
Astrobot did come with PS4, but on the VR. That's what it did.
Oh, okay.
And it might have been tied in with the VR. And that was actually... educational because it was complicated back then. No one knew how to handle a VR.
Yeah, because everybody was throwing up and stuff. It's awesome.
Man, that thing, the PS4 VR was really fun.
Oh yeah, I forgot you had that.
Man, it didn't look good. No, there's tons of games on it. Tons of games. There are tons of PS4 VR games that are not compatible with PSVR 2. Drives me nuts. Like Doom. I want to play Doom 3 in VR.
It comes preloaded on your PlayStation 5.
It did.
Astro's Playroom.
Okay. Yeah.
All
right.
So, and everybody's going to compare it to that.
But I can't play it now.
Which is fair.
It's timed. It must have been.
It's fair, though. It's totally fair to compare that because it's the same thing. It's essentially the same idea. And Nintendo's going to charge $10 for it. Whatever, I guess. That's going to be the least of your problems when you're unboxing this thing that you spent $500 on. Fair enough. Whatever. It's minimal.
$500?
Well, after tax.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yep.
I mean,
fill it up.
I'm just it's just how it is.
Some crow.
Also, they have that Zelda companion app that's going to be built into the Switch. The Switch companion app, actually, it's Zelda companion app that's built into the Switch 2 companion app. Sounds pretty cool for like Breath of the Wild. You got to pay for that.
Really?
I bought Zelda Why don't I just get the companion app for free?
I'm going to buy the heck out of this game machine.
Can you imagine?
I don't know about the games.
Hold on a second. Any other game that's ever released a companion app? Did you buy the app or did you download it for free?
Well, no, because you're talking about like pack-in game? Did I play a pack? Yes, I played Mario Brothers with Duck Hunt.
Well, no, wait, hold on a second. I'm talking about a game that's released you have a companion app for. A lot of sports games do it.
I don't ever do that.
Okay. All of them are free. They've never charged for those ever.
Okay.
But now Nintendo's not releasing an app individually for everybody's phone. It's built into the Switch.
Yeah.
The Switch companion app that you can have on your phone. And you have to pay for it.
Okay.
But see, that to me is also pretty egregious because it's like I already bought your game.
Yeah, but you don't have to buy these things. These aren't necessary.
No, you're absolutely right. But it's more.
It's like a luxury. You're like, would you like extra frosting on your cupcake? And people are like, no. Or people are like, yeah, I'll take extra frosting.
Extra frosting, but we're going to charge you $10 for it.
Exactly. Why would you pay? Why would you not pay extra for something extra?
Because apps are free to download literally every day.
I get it. So download the free one and see if it's any better.
No. It's not. That's not that. I want to download the free one. That's not the point.
Okay.
I don't want them to set a precedent that's now going to become normal for everything else.
Well, guess what? Americans, consumers in general, you don't have to buy it. That'll send a pretty big message.
That's never worked either.
It's never worked for you, but that means it has worked for people all the time. Yes,
it doesn't.
Yes.
Okay, give me an example.
You're talking about like a boycott doesn't work.
Give me an example.
A recent one?
In video games.
In video games, dude, any Ubisoft game.
No, that's not true either. Assassin's Creed is one of the fastest selling games in their history.
Maybe played, not sold.
What's the difference?
Because
none of those
I will
free.
say, give me an Ubisoft game. I don't know.
Far Cry.
No.
Okay. Siege.
I don't know. Either way, it does work. In video games, it works all the time. All the time. Because in my opinion, I think gamers put their money where their mouth is. If they don't want something, they won't buy it. Maybe not Nintendo. Because Nintendo fans are rabid and they will buy anything.
So my example, my counter to my own question would have been
EA games.
Yeah, Madden isn't in the top 10 every single year.
But when
EA Sports College Football just had the best year of all that they've ever had. Madden's in the top 10 every single year. Okay. 2K is in the top 10 every single year.
Maybe not sports. I'm not talking about sports. Battlefield.
People boycotted 2042.
Oh, yeah.
But because it was bad. That's different. And it's also...
Because it was egregious. It had stuff that no one wanted in it.
Right. Are we not getting another Battlefield game?
Well, we're getting what we want. Have you not seen the Battlefield leaks?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
We're getting what we want.
We don't know that either yet.
Oh, no.
We've seen the leaks. Seen the leaks.
At least from the outside looking in, I guess, and the leaks, it looks like the direction we all wanted.
The counter that I would have to my own question would be the Kinect for Xbox.
Okay.
But that's only solely...
I don't think that sold very well at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that didn't sell because people were like, we don't need this.
Yeah.
But the only reason that didn't work out for them is because they had a direct competitor that was making a better console, but for all intents and purposes, than Sony, that didn't have it, and it was selling way more. Nintendo doesn't have competition like that. They don't have to worry about going up against Xbox or even PlayStation, like at all, because it's such a different idea of what they believe, and their exclusives are so hugely important to their environment, if you will, that they can do essentially whatever. They sold cardboard.
I get it, but I'm not following the moral compass of Nintendo players. Like, I don't think they really care. I don't think I don't know the average Nintendo person's value when it comes to when it comes to purchasing. Now, we talked to Whitney, our coworker, whose kids have Switches. And I asked her, is this a very heavy price? And she was like, yeah.
Yes.
So moms buying their kids something.
Right.
At first, it seems like this thing is too high, but you're going to swap that with people like me being like, I don't think the console's too high. I think the quality of what I've seen so far, it looks like it's aimed at me.
Right.
Nintendo hasn't tried to get me to buy one of their products in 20 years. It feels like they want me to buy one of their games.
That's not true either, because they were releasing the Switch or Witcher 3 on the Switch. That was their attempt to try to get the more hardcore gamers to get their games.
No.
The Witcher, when they released the Madden and FIFA games on those consoles.
You're looking at the wrong side of the window. That was CD Projekt Red trying to sell their game to Nintendo fans.
Then FIFA, Madden games, the NBA 2K games, when they sell those on Switch, and Switch says, yeah, we'll sell them on here as well. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
They're trying to approach a broader audience.
Nintendo's not doing that. Nintendo has a market or an open source where, hey, if you want to sell your game, you can sell it here. You're going to have to cut a lot of corners.
Right. But that's what I mean. They have to approve of it to be on their store.
Yeah.
So that's them trying to attempt to a broader audience.
Do they? Oh, not really. It's like having a store like, we're coming to sell our product here in this room, your room.
Right.
We'll give you 30%. I think Nintendo takes
I don't know.
Big percentage.
Probably.
Sony takes 40, I think. No, 25, 30. I don't know.
Irregardless.
So they allow that to happen.
Right.
You don't really know about who they want their games, their staple games to be sold to until you see a new console release and a release window. If you look at the Switch's release window, it's terrible. It's just Zelda and crap.
Right. But
this has a way better lineup.
Well, here's the other thing.
Way better.
Nobody was making their games for the Switch when the Switch was announced.
Like, yeah, they were.
No, I'm outside of Nintendo.
They get kits like 2 or 3 years before it comes
out. Yeah, but
out.
then they got their hands on the Switch and they're like, we can't put anything that we have out onto this console. Like in the equivalency of the Xbox and the PlayStation. We basically have to remake the whole game.
I mean, I remember when Deus Ex came out, Human Revolution came out for the Wii U, ran amazing on the Wii U.
And it's going well there.
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's really not, that's out of Nintendo's ballpark. They do have to approve, but then again,
you have to.
Do they really? I mean, I just saw the Sony marketplace.
They're selling it
games that are just ripoffs.
Well, yeah, but that's way different. Those are indie developers. I'm talking about massive, huge developers. You made the room analogy. You have to sell this in your. Nintendo has to open the door and say, "Yeah, come in. That's okay. Feel free."
Okay.
They can immediately. We saw that forever. There's a reason why Call of Duty isn't being released on Switch. It used to be on the Wii. They had World at War released on the Wii, and they were terrible.
They probably didn't sell well.
Yeah,
and nothing sold well on the Wii, third party wise.
Either Call of Duty is not approaching them, or Nintendo is saying, "No, we don't want to do this. We don't want to put Call of Duty," which wouldn't make any sense if they didn't want to put Call of Duty because they're putting Mortal Kombat on their console.
No, Nintendo wants whatever they can get on there.
Okay,
it's just like they had hardware limitations.
Okay, then Call of Duty is not approaching them. That tells me a lot because Call of Duty wants to be in everybody's house.
I mean, I'm telling you right now, Activision has talked with Nintendo with about everything they could possibly talk to.
Okay, so who's denying who then?
What do you mean?
Is Nintendo saying no to Call of Duty, or is Call of Duty saying no, we don't want to go on the Switch?
It would most likely be Activision saying no, we can't afford our resources to split this game and to fit on the Switch.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me because Call of Duty, one of the biggest franchise on planet Earth for games, anyways, other than Grand Theft Auto. With year releases,
I'm going to assume that the new Call of Duty is out on a PS4 right now. You can play Warzone, the brand new Warzone update, which I played. You can play it on a PS4.
Yeah,
I promise you can run it on a Switch.
Right.
I think we're going to see a Switch 2. I think we're going to see Call of Duty or Activision in general, more third-party support. Definitely more third-party support on a Switch 2. I think. Depends on how it sells.
Your point was they're trying to approach to a broader audience.
I think it seemed like that the new Switch 2 is approaching not a broader audience, but they're coming to me.
But there's not
people like me.
There's not a broader audience than the Call of Duty crowd.
Yeah.
The Battlefield crowd. We don't have any confirmation if that's going to be on there.
Yeah, hope not.
So they're like half stepping their foot in the puddle and half not. And I'm just curious as to why.
You think Nintendo's half stepping?
Yeah.
I think Nintendo knows exactly what they're doing.
Oh, of course.
I think they game planned this a long time. I think there's
Right.
curveballs when it comes to tariffs and stuff like that.
Yes.
And you got to come to the negotiation table as a country now.
But wait, hold on a second.
That's a totally different. Oh, it's
Yeah.
not really different at all. Sorry.
But my point is, they know what they're doing when it comes to all of that. My point is, if they're approaching a broader audience, they've gotten the sports games on their FIFA 2K. I think Madden was on there. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but FIFA for sure, the biggest sports game on planet Earth. FIFA for sure. It usually gets pretty panned when it comes to FIFA on the Switch.
It sucked?
Yes, it gets pretty pretty highly panned. So either Call of Duty or these bigger companies that make, those games is saying, we don't want this on the Switch because you're going to have to downgrade it so poorly that it's not even going to be a remotely similar game. Or Switch is saying no for another reason. That is interesting to me because you're either approaching a broader audience in general or they're half doing it. And that's for reasons that I don't understand.
I think that they're trying to build a system that could be played alongside modern consoles.
If it can play Cyberpunk 2077,
it
should be able to play Call of Duty.
Yeah. I think that's what they're going for.
That's what I'm confused about, though.
This is what I always wanted Nintendo to do for a long time. And now I don't like their prices for their video games, but I can't say I can't be surprised. I can't say that I'm surprised.
Right.
I'm not really surprised. I knew this was coming at some point. It can't be this cheap to play these gigantic games forever.
No, I agree. There is a price increase that is coming. However, I would have thought it would have come from Grand Theft Auto or something like that. Like, that's where I would have been like,
you're
okay.
not expecting Nintendo to do it.
Right.
Well, guess what? I think that Nintendo, in order for them to be, for this price, $80 to be justified, you can't have any microtransactions that are that crazy.
Right.
Maybe later, like supported down the line.
It's an online game, so.
I know. Okay. So if it's an online game and it needs to be supported eventually later, but at first, you better not come with giant map packs and stuff and car packs and stuff.
Yeah.
Because then your $80 price is just it's terrible.
Then it's even worse.
If it has a free to play model with an $80 price tag, that's not going to go over very well.
Yeah. But Nintendo's never done that.
Nintendo doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I think if you want your games to be cheaper, you better expect things like battle passes with everything. Just how it's going to be.
I 100%
because
agree
they're
with that.
just too expensive to make.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
If you want your game to stand out, like you can do the KCD2
Kingdom Come
approach where there's a lot of money behind that game.
Yeah.
But there's no DLC. I mean, there's DLC planned coming out, but there's no battle pass or anything like that. I know that Assassin's Creed has like character packs and stuff like that.
They're hidden pretty well. I will say that. Like, it takes a little bit to find them.
I saw some look pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
It
just doesn't fit for me. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, you're just going to see that more often.
Yeah.
Or you're going to see a price increase. You can't have
your cake and eat
it too. It does suck because as a game developer, you want to sell your game and you're like, well, is my game going to be compared to Grand Theft Auto? I can't make a Grand Theft Auto game.
Yes.
So you can you got to make something fun.
If they're priced at the same point, it's going to be compared to Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too.
Man, we were on this topic for a while.
I think Grand Theft Auto, when it comes to being priced, they could score huge points if they wanted to. Theirs is $80. The thing is too, like, the $80 price tag is coming with a racing game.
I know, but I don't think Nintendo is in the position to set a trend in pricing. I don't know. I don't think they are. I just think that they live in their own world.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's also part of the point that I'm making. Like, Rockstar very much is set in their own world too, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
But to me, if they were to price it higher at $80 or more, I would say, okay, GTA anyways, I would say, okay, this makes sense to me. I understand why you have to price it at $80. This thing probably cost an exorbitant amount of money to make. You haven't made anything in 6 years. For Mario Kart, I'm more like it's a racing game.
I don't know how people like Mario Kart. If Mario Kart has blue shells in it. Do you know what blue shells are, James?
James here.
Blue shells. That means if you're in last place, you get rewarded with taking out the guy who's done the best. I hate that. I hate that philosophy in life in general. If you're in last place, no one should give a crap about you other than good job. You should be applauded for trying hard.
Crazy quote.
But having people like giving someone a reward to punish a guy in first place is so astronomically dumb to me that I cannot play a Mario Kart game knowing that. When I played Mario Kart at my brother-in-law's house, me and my wife, her sister, my brother-in-law, we were playing GameCube version Mario Kart. So that's Double Dash. Not the most well-liked, but still competitive. And we got in a competitive mode. And guess what we were doing? Me, as trying to win, and Marlo, my brother-in-law, we were trying to compete with second place. Because none of us wanted to go into first place because we knew the guy in first place is going to get taken out by a blue shell and I'm going to pass him on the final lap. And that philosophy, I cannot play a Mario Kart in that game. So you would have to pay me to play a Mario Kart game with a blue shell in it.
That's
there's no way. So that's a whole different story.
I would say that's a wild
I hate that
thing to say you take into life too.
Yeah, I don't like that in life. I don't like it.
I get it. But
I have a kid. I have a 6-year-old.
Swear to God, if your kid's batting 9-hole on his baseball team, he's got 4 strikeouts, I'm booing him.
No, I'm not going to boo him. I'm always going to encourage him, but I'm not going to reward him by giving him a bigger trophy than the guy who got first place.
But how you reward him, maybe extra practice.
I reward him by showing that you learn more when you lose.
Okay.
You learn. You don't really lose anything. It's an opportunity to learn.
No, hold on a second. You said you don't want to give them anything except for a good job.
I mean, encouragement. I do not want to give someone a reward that punishes the first place guy because you're so bad that we feel sorry for you. So we're going to punish the guy who's doing really well.
So would you say you're punishing them by giving somebody extra help who is in last?
Yeah. You're punishing multiple people, yeah.
You're punishing the person who is in first because Mario Kart's a terrible analogy.
I know.
Directly,
but no, it goes with life, I guess, if you want to analyze it.
I know.
Freud.
I don't see it at all.
You can, I guess, if you wanted to. But yeah, I don't like rewarding someone who's done bad, who does worse than the first place guy. So you punish the guy in last place because you're not really teaching them how to get better. You're just making him feel better. And then you're actually punishing the guy who doesn't need to be punished at all.
Grant doesn't believe in wheelchair ramps. If you have one, you got to get up the stairs.
No.
Period.
Stop.
You're punishing my property.
No.
The guy's in first place.
No, a better way is to have a race, but then include the guy with the wheelchair and then punish the people who are actually like, hey, this is terrible. What are we talking about? No, I am not against wheelchair ramps.
But if you need one, he looks down on you.
No, I don't. Not at all.
Okay, let's move on. We're done with Switch.
Oh my God.
Let's just get into what we're playing this week.
Yeah, I have a couple things.
Go ahead. Mine's actually, let me go first because I have almost nothing.
Because you're playing Assassin's Creed in the show?
No, also, I downloaded Outlast Trials.
Oh.
Multiplayer game.
Yeah, I always wanted to play that. I saw you playing the other day.
Survival horror game. Have you played Dead by Daylight?
Yeah. But I played Outlast. I love Outlast.
Outlast is great. But I love Outlast. 2's okay.
2 people didn't like 2. I love the setting in 2.
Setting's great. 2 the story gets
I like it.
Real crazy in a way that I didn't love. But
the third one, Trials. Is a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's asymmetric multiplayer. Yeah. PV four. Well, you're not fighting somebody else. It's PvE with 4 people, asymmetric multiplayer. So the bad people are all computers. You're not facing anybody.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were player controlled bad guys. Okay.
No, not from what I've seen so far. I could be wrong about that from what I've played, but I don't think so. It's pretty good. Once you get the idea of what it's going for, it's a lot of copy and paste. So you're going to a certain point. There's bad guys in the arena. You're hiding till they're gone. You come out, and then you're grabbing more stuff that you can use, whether it be bandages, medicine, lockpicks, that sort of thing. And you're just doing that until you get to the end of an objective that they want you to finish, and then you get out, essentially.
Okay.
It's pretty good. There are some good spooks. Again, if you get to a certain point, though, after you've done like 4 or 5 missions, the spooks, you kind of know what's coming already. So when you get spooked, you're like, it's more of an annoyance. That does kind of rub me the wrong way. But again, I don't know how far they could have gone with this game and not had that same problem end up becoming an issue.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with like Dead by Daylight for me. I can only be doing that, same thing over and over and over again before I'm like, okay, I'm tired of getting grabbed by this guy over and over again.
I just thought it was annoying. It's a really cool concept.
It is a great concept. And like the way that they make it in the story original. Is very cool. Yeah. You're basically in an asylum, like an insane asylum.
Yeah.
And like all the other, you have a home world, like a hub world, essentially. But it's all inside of an asylum, and everybody's essentially crazy, and you're all going through trials to try to better yourself, I guess. And it's pretty cool. The hub world too, by the way, it's one of the better hub worlds like ever made in terms of activities you can do inside the hub world. I played my brother in chess like 5 times in that hub world. You can play Pong in the hub world against another person. Cool. You can arm wrestle other people, and it's a timing thing that you have to get down. And it's like really cool. You can customize like your own room and everything. It's pretty impressive that was like one of the more far-reaching things that I saw. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's a fun game to kind of, like, if you want to play 4 players with maybe somebody that doesn't play games very often, like Melody would be a good example to do this with. Because it's spooky, it's pretty simple to get for the most part, but it's scary, and that's fun for a lot of people. Cool. But after you get the what's the word I'm looking for? The gameplay loop down, it gets a little old after a while.
Yeah.
So,
well,
anyways,
can I tell you what I'm playing?
Go ahead.
All right, Mini Royale. You heard of it?
You talked about it last week. Are you joking?
I know, but I'm playing it. I didn't get to play it last week. Yeah. I was just talking about it. And it's a Battle Royale Army Man game with a really great map. And I'm going to say positive things first. Extremely good map.
You talked about this last week.
Yeah.
Like in the same...
But I talked about it in terms of a trailer watching it.
No, you played it last week.
I did?
I'm almost certain.
Okay. Let's cut this then. All right, anyways, if you're almost certain. Either way, I played that game, and it's the sweatiest Battle Royale game in the history of Battle Royale games. It's the sweatiest.
Well, that's not bad. They're all incredibly hard. They don't sweat. Gosh.
All right, so the real game I'm playing a whole bunch. Everybody knows the games I play. I play UFC 5. I play all that stuff. I play Gran Turismo. I really wanted to get into old games again. There's a hidden game, a very hidden game. It wasn't hidden when it came out, but it's one of the greatest video games of all time.
Okay.
And that is Towerfall Ascension. Ever heard of it?
Nope.
Towerfall Ascension, when I say greatest game of all time, greatest multiplayer game, maybe.
Bad name.
One of the greatest. Towerfall Ascension launched with the Ouya. Do you remember the Ouya?
Oh my God.
There's a launch title for the Ouya. This game, I think Maddie makes games. I think that's what it's called. Is amazing. It's a 4-player.
Not the Ouya.
A 4-player multiplayer game. Split screen, not split screen. It's all one screen. So think of it. It's flat, pixelated. Think like
Mario on the
arcade.
Whatever. Yeah.
So or Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Yeah, there you go.
Where you're jumping and you have an arrow and you have to shoot your enemies or your friends with arrows. And so it's almost like a PvPvE because there's also enemies on the screen. You can catch someone's arrow by dashing towards it. It's very hard to do, but you could do that. You can jump on their head to kill them, and everybody shares arrows. You start with like 3 or 4 arrows. You shoot them, then you have to go pick them up. And
I think I've seen this before.
It's a lot of fun. I love this game a lot. Friends and I were talking about games, and this ship came up, and I was like, I can't believe I forgot about this game. Totally forgot about it. Logged in with my PlayStation 4 account, played it. My God, it's still fun. It's one of those games that comes around where it's just as fun the day you play it as it is 50 years from now when you play it. Kind of like Street Fighter 2 Turbo or Rocket League or something like that, where it's the game is so perfect that no one's going to care about how it looks in the future. It's going to play the same, and it's very easy to play. I don't know. One of my favorite games. I forgot all about this game. Love it. If you haven't played it, Towerfall Ascension, go download it. I think it's only on PS4.
I think that happens a lot more too with photorealistic games where we try to, we're like, oh, this doesn't look nearly as good, rather than animated games not really based on anything, right? On photorealism.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Towerfall Ascension, dude. Amazing. Amazing game. It's a very big tragedy that it never was online.
It was on the Ouya.
It's on the Ouya, but it never was online capable. So if you were to play Towerfall Ascension right now and they had like a ranking system, oh my God, it'd be so much fun.
All right.
1v1, 2v2, or free for all.
You can play it on your PS4 or go get an Ouya today from your local dump.
You can make an Ouya.
That's going to wrap it up.
Very easily.
That's going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like, follow, subscribe, rate the podcast. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'll be back next week.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly next week.
I'm on vacation.
Talking about more stuff. So, thanks, guys.
Peace. Play Towerfall Ascension. Play Towerfall Ascension. Download it and drink some piss.
It's just like piss.